also learned how to translate between tables and expressions. I need to write an expression for the missing value in my table. And my expression is going to include both a letter and a number in it. I have Spike's age and I have Rusty's age. When I look at my table, I need to look for a rule of what's happening. What I notice is that Rusty's age is Spike's age plus 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Again, my common thing is every single time I'm adding 4 to it. So if I have A for Rusty's age, I'm going to also add 4 to that. So for Rusty's age, I'm going to get A plus 4 for my rule for this table. So when Spike's age is A, Rusty's age is A plus 4. It's always going to be 4 more. Let's try a harder example now. So what I have now is I have position and I have value. I need to see, from when I go from position to value, what's the rule that's happening? My numbers are getting bigger, so I'm either going to be adding or multiplying. Well, 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 8, plus 10, plus 12. I notice a pattern happening, but nothing that stays the same for me to write a rule about. So it's not going to be not going to be adding. Same thing with multiplying. 1 times 7 is 7, but 2 times 5 is 10. So I know that's not going to work. From here, I need to do some guess and check. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first value. My value is 1. I'm going to try multiplying and adding it with different numbers to see what I can get to work. If I do 1 times 2, that's going to equal 2. I need to get up to 7, though, for my table to be correct. So I'm going to add 5 to that. 2 plus 5 equals 7. So what I did was I times by 2, and I added 5. I'm going to try this out with my other numbers to see if this is correct. So I right now have 2 for my next number. So I'm going to do 2, and again, I said times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. After I times by 2, I said I was going to add 5. So 4 plus 5. That's going to equal 9. But my table says it needs to equal 10. So my rule is not going to be that. So I need to guess and check something different. This time, I'm going to multiply by 3. So I have 1 times 3. 1 times 3 is going to equal 3. But I need to get up to 7. So 3 plus 4 is going to equal 7. So I'm going to times by 3, and I'm going to add 4. Let's check and see if that works with my next one. So I'm going to do 2 times 3, again, because times 3 is part of my rule. That equals 6. Now I need to add 4 to that number. That's going to equal 10. Well, so far that one looks good to me. I'm going to test out one more time just to double check. So I have 3 times 3, because my rule says to times by 3. That equals 9. 9 plus 4, the second part of my rule, says that's going to equal 13. So that one works out as well. So it looks like I have my rule. What it looks like I'm doing is it looks like I'm going to be timesing my number by 3 and then adding 4 to it. So I need to come up with a generic rule for that. So I'm going to times my number times 3. So n times 3. But I learned in math class that it works even better when I put the number first, and I don't even need a multiplication symbol. So that's just going to be 3n. After I multiply by 3, I need to add 4 to it. So it's 3n plus 4. That's what my rule for this table would be. That would be the correct expression. That's how you're going to do tables and expressions.